Welcome to the Google Trifecta webinar. This is Tom Leung. I am the Product Manager for Website Optimizer. I'm very excited to be here with Michael Wizermersky from the Webmaster Tools team, as well as Jeff Gillis from Google Analytics. This is the first time we've done a joint webinar, and we think it's going to be pretty successful because these are probably the three most important tools any website owner should consider using from Google. What we're going to cover today specifically is I'm going to talk for just a couple minutes about how we see the three tools complementing each other, and then we're going to spend most of our time digging into a nice introduction to each of the tools, the Webmaster Tools side, Analytics, and Optimizer, and then we will take a couple of Q&As from the registrations for questions that we saw coming up over and over. So without further ado, when you think about these tools, you can think about using them in sequence. Specifically, you probably want to start with Webmaster Tools because, as Mike's going to tell you, it's going to really make sure you maximize the exposure of your site to the search engine so that Google can understand what's going on and what's on your site. The next thing you do once you maximize exposure is to really start understanding, okay, well, I'm getting a lot of exposure. Now let's see what's going on my site. What do people like? What do people don't like? Where are they going? And Jeff is going to go into great detail about that. Now, after you do that, after you get a lot of exposure, a lot of people come to your site, and then you start understanding what's working and what's not working, and it's time to make improvements, that's where Website Optimizer comes in. And that helps you test different changes to your site and see which ones are most likely to be well received by the visitors. Another way to look at it is that each of these three tools can be used individually, but they also make the other two even more effective. So with Webmaster Tools, you're really going to make sure that as many people are able to get to your site as possible, because Google will understand all of the content on your site and know what's going on, and that's going to allow more people to find it. That is, the more people that arrive on your site and the more things they do will give Google Analytics more data to show you interesting trends, interesting problem areas, interesting metrics. And that increased data and insight into what's going on your site is going to allow you to get more conversions, because then you're going to be able to really focus in like a laser and say, well, I know from analytics, these are certain problem areas. I'm going to run an experiment on that specific page. And so as you can see, then when you get more conversions, those people will return more often, greater word of mouth, more likely for other folks to link to you, and it kind of is a virtuous circle. So specifically, I'm about to hand it over to Mike, and what we're going to do for all three of the products is we're going to try to answer three basic questions, like what is the big problem Google's trying to solve with this product? What are the customers, the benefits and features for the product? And some specific things that you can do after this webinar to really make use of it, and resources you can consult to learn more about these things. So I'm going to hand this over to Mike, and he's going to tell you a little bit about Webmaster Tools in more detail.
All right, thanks, Tom. And I'm going to start off by explaining why it's important for us to have Webmaster Tools in the first place. And it really goes back to Google's mission, which is to organize the world's information, make it universally accessible and useful. So in web search, we strive to provide the highest quality and most relevant results for any query. And these results come from our index of your pages. So how can we ensure that we're presenting the highest quality pages to users? Well, first you need to have good information and content, which will lead to better pages. And these better pages are indexed by Google, which gives us better results for our users. And then if we can better understand the content of your sites, the search results get even better. So in order to make this information universally accessible to our users, at Google, we actually rely on you, the webmasters, quite a bit to make this content accessible to Google. And that's where Webmaster Tools comes in. And the features of Webmaster Tools all relate to how your site is presented in Google's organic, non-paid search results. So keep in mind that this tool isn't really designed to help boost your rankings, as that's more determined by your site's content. However, it can help you with giving Google a better understanding of how your content is presented to Google, so we can better understand it and present it to users. So Webmaster Tools provides statistical and diagnostic information as well as some control. And I'll cover three main functional areas of Webmaster Tools today: diagnostics, statistics, and control. I'd like to start out with diagnostics because this is where you can find out if Google is even able to access your content in the first place. So in the web crawl section, you can get a listing of errors that Google encountered as it attempted to download pages from your site as part of our indexing process. And this is the part where Google reads your pages to find out what information is on them. But sometimes Google has trouble getting in. Maybe your webmaster at some point had blocked search engine robots from accessing your site during development, and then upon launch, forgot to remove that restriction. That could prevent Google from getting enough information about your site to present it to users. Content analysis goes a bit